Istvan testvérem, emlékeztessen téged ez a szentelt víz kerességünkre, Krisztusra, aki szenvedésével és feltámadásával megváltott minket. Imádkozzunk együtt Istenhez, miként a mi Urunk Jézus Krisztus megígérte nekünk az örök élet nyugalmát. Urunk Istenünk, irgalmadba álljuk István testvérünk lelkét, hogy a világnak meghalva neked érjen, emberi gyarlóságából elkövetett bűneit töröld el jóságosan Krisztus, a mi Urunk által. Amen. Most pedig, testvéreim, együtt énekeljük el a szép magyar tradicionális kis énekünket, ami nagyon ideillik, ahogy búcsúzunk István testvérünktől, Jézusomnak szívén megnyugodni jó. Jézusomnak szívén megnyugodni jó. Elmerülni benne, csendes tiszta jó. Földig utol bajtól, szíve enyhülést van. De áll lelkünknek figyel, kísérva sírvigan. Jézusom szent szívén, láncsa dögte át, megnyitotta nékünk drága oldalát. Szent szívébe rejtve, törli minden bűnünk, a szenvedés ott nem sajog, ő benne örülünk. És végleg kérem Lindát, hogy emlékezzen meg édesapjáról, ő Ilónkiáról.
Papa, today I'm supposed to be saying goodbye to you, but the only words on my mind are thank you. Since I was a child until the day you left us, you taught me so many things that I will always be grateful for. When I was little, you taught me how to love. You and Mama were so in love. You left me with so many memories of the ways you took care of her. You always treated her with incredible respect, kindness, and unconditional love. Mama still describes the first half of your marriage as a constant honeymoon. You worked so hard for our family out of love, to make sure we lived comfortably, and to give us everything you could. My memories as a child are filled with such happiness and comfort, something I realized much later that not all children have. Through your example, you taught Mike, Richard, and me to never forget who we are. You always shared your stories of the past with us, from the devastation of growing up in rural Hungary during communism to your escape from Hungary and life as a refugee in Austria. You valued your Hungarian culture, your faith, and your adopted country, and made sure that these values were passed to us. We learned Hungarian, went to church every Sunday and liked it, and grew up in a country that promoted freedom. But I know the most important thing you taught us from your past was how important family is. Every time we visited Nagymama, Marika, or Magda in Hungary, the genuine love you had for your mother and sisters could not be more evident. This same love was always reflected into our family. In the same vein, he taught me to be kind and to serve others, particularly those who had less than we did. You and Mama instilled this value in us from when we were very little. I remember spending Thanksgivings and other holidays with the homeless families that our American parish at St. Catherine's would provide shelter for in the school gym. We were constantly ready to help other people, no matter the difficulty they were in, or even sometimes the way it would affect our family financially. You and Mama always saw this as an opportunity to reflect God's love for others. We may not have been the most well off, but you and Mama always put love before money. You taught me how to be motivated. You came from a long line of inspiring and hardworking men and women. Your grandfather had come to the U.S. through Ellis Island and spent years working in New York so he could return to his family in Hungary as a wealthy businessman. Your father and mother always worked hard for your family just like you worked for us, and you in turn passed this work ethic on to us. I inherited a drive from you that will always seek out and take great opportunities. In the last few years, you have taught me forgiveness and patience. I approached your illness with denial and bitterness. For years, I was confused about how someone like you, who is the last person to deserve it, could be affected by a slow, often painful illness with no cure. But you remained the humble and patient person you always have been. And in the many years that you were sick, you never complained. You never once talked about how awful it was or how unfair. Though we tried every single treatment we could, in the end you accepted it. Never have I seen an example of someone so gracious, but it was just the type of person you are. So all I can say is thank you. Thank you, Papa, for all these values, memories, traditions, and the picture of you that will always remain with me. I hope to have your great heart and your brilliant smile, and to always reflect it onto my family and the world as you did. I love you so much.
Thank you, Linda, for sharing with us. And Mike, thank you, please.
Dad, you were a great dad who taught me how to be a man. It was you who pushed me to the best I could be, mainly in sports and academics when I was younger. I will now have to push myself, and I will miss your guidance. I will never forget how many hours we spent in the garage together, working on school projects, and how I was able to gain your carpentry skills. Dad, you were always the go-to person for advice because it was useful and effective. Now as I start my career, it will be that much harder without your guidance or input. I will miss all the walks we used to go on as a family, either Crystal Springs Reservoir, the beach, Monterey, or the Bayshore Highway. I will miss the auto and motorcycle shows you brought me and Richard to. Those were always fun. I'm also going to miss doing the yard work without you, which wasn't as fun, but we got it done in half the amount of time. Dad, what I'm going to miss most is you being around. A son could not have asked for a better father, and I will always remember you in my heart.
Thank you, Mikey. Anybody else would like to share some memories about Istvan? We welcome for a short remembering. If not this time, maybe there will be another occasion when you can do it. Istvan was a Hungarian to his core, as I mentioned in my opening remarks. As his children reflected about his life, we see that we all have lost a man, a good husband, a loving father, a good friend, a good Hungarian. I think that would be appropriate if we would stand up and us Hungarians, especially those who are having better voice than I do, sing the Hungarian anthem, which truly reflects his Hungarian heritage and origin. Please stand up. Please be seated for a moment. I would like to thank you all in behalf of Istvan's family, his wife, Ildikó, and his children for coming this afternoon and joining us in our prayer for our beloved brother Istvan as we bid him farewell. A week from tomorrow, December 8th, we are going to have the Mass of Resurrection for Istvan in the Woodset Prairie Chapel in Portola Valley, in the community of the Hungarian Catholic Mission. Obviously, you are all heartily invited to join us on that occasion when we are going to offer the Holy Sacrifice of Mass for the eternal repose of Istvan, include our service by a beautiful, beautiful song. Istvan loved it and listened to that during his last days. And I was with him just 4 days before he parted. He could not speak, but he was fully alert. We prayed together. He received the last rite, the sacrament of the sick, and we prayed together. And although he could not utter words, but his lips were praying with us. He was aware, he knew that he was going to his Creator, and he listened to his music during the last days of his life. So let us listen to it now with him, and after that we are going to follow him to his eternal resting